Hello, everybody. My name is David Barnett. I am the lead careers advisor based at Chelsea and our Kensington sites. For those who don't already know me, and I am absolutely delighted today to be talking with Marlon James Edwards, who is the director of a brand new fashion brand. And I say brand new because it was conceptualized during the lockdowns that we have been having in recent times. It's a really exciting brand. There's lots going on, and I am super delighted to be able to talk to Marlon today about sustainability within the fashion industry, because this is a big part of their ethos. Yeah. Marlon, thank you for joining us.
Hello, David. How are you doing? Hello to everyone watching. Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
So, could you tell us a little bit about the brand to begin with, please, Marlon?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I'm not sure if everyone can see the slide. So, if you can,
Yes,
what you
can
see is my signature. So, this brand, as David was alluding to, started in 2020 during lockdown, where we all had a bit more time to kind of think about life and plans, and that was the conception of Artcha series. What I wanted to do, because my background is education, I really wanted to fuse my passion for kind of design and fashion with education principles. I have dyslexia, so one of the things I really wanted the brand to stand for was kind of changing the face of neurodiversity. So one of the biggest ethoses for us, apart from sustainability, is raising awareness for neurodiversity. So those with ADHD, autism, Asperger's, dyslexia, and kind of using people within my team who are recognized as neurodivergent, as well as using models who are neurodivergent, so we can kind of show that this is an invisible disability that affects at least 2 in 5 people on various parts of the spectrum. So that was the main idea, as well as kind of just having a fashion brand. It needed to stand for something. So I'm very proud of the concept that we have. And one of our slogans is "We are diversity." So in that regard is kind of embracing cultures, genders, and neurodiversity. That's kind of me and my business partner, Lizelle. We actually went to school together. So it's a full circle moment. She has history in the fashion business. She's also a designer. She's also dyslexic. She's also a teacher. So there's a lot of parallels that really kind of sustain the brand ethos. We are professional educators as well as designers. And this is just kind of just a quick insight into some of the designs that we have. This is my friend Himmel, one of our models. Great guy, great musician as well, kind of offered his services to be part of our models, modeling one of our last season sweaters. This is also a friend, Jody, who I also went to school with. So I guess one of the theories of starting any business is use what you have. Before you spend a lot of money, think about what you have as resources. So calling on friends was vital for us.
Fantastic. So homing in then on sustainability within your own brand, I know this is a really important part of the ethos. Yeah. Please could you tell us a little bit more about how this has been currently implemented?
Yeah.
Within
so one of the things for anyone starting a brand, a business, there are going to be upfront costs. And I'll share the numbers with you. So when I initially registered the brand in 2001, September the 15th, it was all self-funded. So there was no bank loans, there was no funding, it came from my pocket. So the upfront costs to date are hitting 11,500. We broke even in January this year. So we're now, which is great because it can be quite scary. And one of the biggest challenges for me was making sure that the manufacturing was all UK based. That was a paramount. Wanted to keep the money within the UK, sustain people's jobs. Also, it cuts down on shipping costs. So if you're kind of manufacturing elsewhere outside of the UK, you're going to incur other charges. So we eliminated that as well. And then one of the other big principles was where we got the manufacturing done was how sustainable those materials were. So in the beginning, we were around 60% sustainable. So most of the products were 70% organic and 30% recycled. So year one, we're moving up to 75% sustainability. And then in year two, we're going to be moving into 100% organic materials. What that meant as a business is we had to look at the costing of garments. So a lot of the mock-up prices for kind of like 70% organic and 30% regenerated or recycled would cost you for a t-shirt, for example, £7. If we sold that t-shirt for £15, then you can kind of see where the profit margins would be. One of the biggest factors for us is we're a small company. We don't have the reach yet. So buying in bulk was always a risk. So what I was able to do with the manufacturers is negotiate a buy-in of 20 products at a time. So I could kind of reduce initial costs, make the sales, make the profit, and then reinvest in our stock. And it was a big risk at the beginning, because if I had a sudden wave of 100 orders and I didn't have 100 orders ready, that would be bad for business. But what we managed to do is we really streamlined who our target audience was. We also do a lot of pop-ups, so there's a physical presence of the brand in London specifically, and that's where I'd say 45% of our sales came from. So we were able to kind of regenerate income to reinvest into our products. So as it stands, we are working towards 100% sustainability, and I'd say we're at least 75% sustainability.
Which is amazing for a new and well,
yeah,
I was going to say emerging, but it
yeah,
sounds like you've already gone beyond that point. So you're
yeah,
breaking even, so you're
yeah,
doing great.
yeah,
And to have that perspective on reaching 100% sustainability, I
yeah,
think is fantastic,
yeah.
and really important in these times, that all fashion brands be
Yes.
thinking about how can we arrive at being 100% sustainable.
Yeah, absolutely. And there is a model that I currently use, which is, especially when you're a new company in a very competitive market, you want to secure investment in your consumers. So what we have at the moment, we have 12% of our overall consumers as repeat buyers. So what that means is they'll buy a t-shirt in January, and then they'll buy a hoodie in February, and then in March they'll buy something else. So that one customer has actually reinvested 3 times over. And the way we've managed to do that is the communication and the social media outreach. So there's a lot of engagement with community. We work with lots of schools as well. So we go into schools, and we talk about business, we talk about sustainability, we talk about neurodiversity as something that shouldn't be seen as a taboo subject. So a lot of the work we're doing is community engagement, which allows us to have repeat buyers. So that means even if we're not having thousands and thousands of customers, we have at least 200 loyal customers who are going to continually buy and believe in the brand. So I think that's really important. If you're trying to be sustainable, is you have to think about who your market is and how you're connecting with them on a regular basis.
And I love that you talk about building that relationship with your customers, because that takes me quite neatly onto this recent pattern we've seen of fast fashion,
Yes.
where people buy a product, dispose. There is no relationship between the buyer and the company that is supplying that garment. So what I'm wondering is, clearly there's a big cost factor in going completely organic.
Absolutely.
And currently, to go that way does mean that companies are having to either absorb that cost for
Yeah.
themselves, or they're going to have to pass that cost on to the
Mhm.
customer.
Yeah.
What is the strategy for you as a brand?
So one of the things from the outset was this was going to be a brand that was affordable, that was really important. A lot of the people through market research that are buying our products are working class. They are obviously into fashion, but they don't want to overspend. Um, and they still want the quality. So there's a fine line between, okay, how much are we spending per garment? How much are we going to sell it for? And how are we going to maintain our quality? So at the moment, we are, like I said, we've broken even. And I think the average cost of a product from Artcha series is around £40 in the marketplace for like hoodies, etc. Hoodies, as you know, for certain brands can go up to 100, £200, which is just unattainable for most people. So what we've managed to do is keep the costs relatively low, buy in the kind of organic products at a great cost because it's UK. And that's the other thing about making sure that your manufacturers are UK, because you can actually have conversations, can actually make negotiations. And we've been with the same manufacturer from the beginning, so they know that we're regularly buying into them. They can give us deals, they can give us discounts. That works in our favor. So we're able to have a mock-up of an average of £15 per garment, selling that at £40. And then that profit margin is able to be reinvested. So we're towing the line. This is not a company that's trying to make millions of profit. This is a company with a mission, and I think that's really important. Yes, you do need to make money to be sustainable as a company, but that is not the biggest goal for us. The education, the awareness, the relationship is way more important, and that's how you build loyal customers, regular customers, repeat buyers. So if you think about, like you said about throwaway fashion, you can get someone buying a t-shirt, they never buy a t-shirt from that brand again. Whereas we have relationships where people will buy t-shirts, hoodies, etc. over and over again. So I think that is how we're able to kind of keep those costs relatively low, and it doesn't affect the consumer.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant news to
Yeah,
those out there who are A, already investing in the brand, and B,
yeah,
looking to invest in the brand. And I
absolutely.
think it's also brilliant. Sorry, Marlon. I think it's also brilliant from the standpoint that if a small emerging company can make this focus on
Yeah,
being ethical and being
yeah,
sustainable,
mhm,
it shows that it can be done, and there is
yeah,
really no excuse for others not to follow suit.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
I really feel that you are burning a torch for those who believe in sustainability and
Yeah,
integrity in everything that they're doing.
yeah.
Um, but sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
Tell me, tell me. I'm just so passionate about this ethos that you have as a brand.
yeah,
Tell me what are the plans for the future? I know that you have a new collection coming out, so
yeah,
that's
absolutely.
exciting.
Yes, it is. Where the website is under development, so hopefully that will be live in a few days. So yeah, the new collection is out. And one of the other things we had to do as a company is think about, number one, what sells the most, like what is actually being bought, because that's the other thing you have to think about as a brand. We had in the first couple of months we had an amazing variety, but the costing was so high because per items, to say we had 10 items available, you're having to buy in 20 of those items, and they may not all sell. So what we did is just kind of look at what's selling, what's not selling, and reduce the options, make sure that we put the kind of leading brands designs at the front. So in the new collection, we've kind of whittled it down to 4 unique pieces that we know have been bought. These are new designs. The colorways are amazing because we're obviously approaching summer. So we're really excited about this. And then it just, again, streamlines your costing because you're only really investing in 4 pieces of different sizes. And the other thing we really wanted to do is make sure we have enough size variety as well, because that was some of the feedback we had in the early days. Is it's great having small, medium and large, but what about your double XLs, your extra smalls? That we want to make sure that we can kind of cater for everybody in that way.
Which speaks volumes about your ethos and about your brand. Yeah. And the fact that it is about diversity and that it is about recognizing how important diversity actually is.
Absolutely.
So that's fantastic.
So we're very excited. We have some great interviews coming up with people who from all walks of life who kind of recognize as being neurodiverse. We talk about sustainability, we talk about education. So those will be coming up on our socials in the next couple of weeks as well.
Talking of which, could you just let us know what platforms can people look for in terms of your socials?
Absolutely. So I'm just going to skip through my slides. What we've done is we have these cards. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. So we have QR codes on our cards. So literally all of our socials are available on that QR code. Our Instagrams, TikTok, Facebook, the website itself. So we kind of make it easier for people to navigate our socials.
Fantastic. Marlon, I would love to talk more about the brand, but I recognize that we are out of time.
No problem. Thank you, David, so much for having me.
And thank you so much for taking the time to come and talk to us. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thanks
Thank
again.
you. No problem. See you later. Bye.
Bye.